Are you ready to relive the past? Well, step right up. We have Atari, PlayStation, Nintendo, Sega. Get ready for a wild ride. Don't go anywhere, stay tuned. Get ready to take a trip down memory lane. That cartridge can only mean one thing. I'm going to be showing you guys how to clean the inside of an NES cartridge here on the memory lane. And as you saw yesterday, we actually put one of these blinking light wins inside of the NES console, and it works great, but you want to make sure you also have a clean cartridge, like the pins on the inside. So the first thing you want to do is get yourself a Nintendo compatible screwdriver and take out all the screws. And the screws are as folded right here. I already actually took the screws out, so there's like little tabs right here. And see, this cartridge does need probably a little bit of cleaning. So you lift up like that, and this is where the board is. Now right away you can probably tell there's definitely some tarnish, some sort of buildup right here. On this side, it's definitely not the cleanest looking. You see it just like right there. Over on this side, let me see if I don't have a reflection, you might be able to see it. So that's before, and eventually you're going to see an after. Got the hiccups. Alright, so let's put that over there for now. The first thing that we're going to do is use an eraser on it. Get yourself a rubber eraser. The pack that I bought is whatever this is right here. So it's like a pack of 6 of them. I bought it off Target. This is actually Target's brand too, so and you also want to order yourself this, and this is also on Target's website. It's copper cream. You'll see what we do with that a little bit later on. But first, see if we can actually get this cleaned a little bit. And the eraser does somewhat like a resurface on the copper. It kind of gets all that grime and all that crap off to a certain extent. And it's best to use this first before we use the copper stuff. I'll show you why. And this looks pretty not good at you know, this definitely probably wouldn't play. You can tell by the way the pins look. So if we get these pins all cleaned off right here. You don't have to do this for too long, just enough that get a little bit off. And you probably won't notice a major difference at first, so you know, don't go crazy. Let's see if you can get this cleaned off in the back. So maybe spend about maybe 20 to 30 seconds on each set of pins. There's 4 sets here, so there's one here, one on the other side, and so you know, a couple minutes doing this. Alright, so all the debris and all that stuff you just want to wipe off into like a trash can or something like that. I have a little trash can below here, so you guys don't see that, but alright, so that's the first part. Now is when you want to put your gloves on, because we're going to be handling things that you probably don't want to be handling barehanded. So the first thing we're going to be doing is get yourself a cup and put a little bit of warm water in there with rubbing alcohol.
I'd say probably half and half, just a little bit of warm water mixed with rubbing alcohol. And rub them all over the pins on both sides, just get them a little wet. It doesn't have to be crazy wet, but just enough that, you know, it's noticeable. Alright, so they're wet. Alright, so now you're going to take this stuff right here. You definitely don't want to get this on your hands. This comes with a sponge, but you don't want to use that. So that's way too much. The only thing you need is that much. It's like a pea size. Use that for each side. And you want to rub it on where the pin contacts are right here. So just like this. Let's rub that on, and eventually you're going to start seeing a lot of crap coming off in a second. You can see how this is turning darker? This stuff, I know a lot of people use toothpaste, but I would skip the toothpaste and get yourself some of this stuff right here. This stuff will make your crappy old Nintendo cartridge work like it's brand new. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. Alright, so we got that rubbed in there. And we'll do the other side, and always dunk your Q-tip in the rubbing alcohol a little bit before dunking it into here, because you'll leave fabric and all that stuff in here. So there's already a little bit on this side, so just grab literally that much. Let's rub it on. You don't need a lot. This whole jar of copper cleaner can do probably over 100 cartridges, as long as you use it properly. So we got this on here. You can see all the tarnish and grime coming off. There's a lot of crap, look at that. And try not to get it up here, but you're gonna have to clean that off anyway. So the next step is you want to get yourself a toothbrush, one that you don't care about. Make sure you do not brush your teeth with this afterwards. You're feeling really daring about that. Don't brush your teeth afterwards, okay? Alright, so one thing we have to do is a little bit of scrubbing on the pins. And this is where the pins get really clean, and you'll see in a second. You do circular motions just like you're brushing your teeth. You don't have to do it too heavy, you know, just do that just like that. And, what we'll do is, you start to see liquid, of course, the chips. Just try it off a little bit right here. And we'll do the same thing over on this side. Circular motions. You do the up down motion just like that, whichever one you like, as long as it gets cleaned. You can see that it soaks up a little bit. I might do this side a little bit more because there is a little more tarnish there. So what I'll do is I'll take this Q-tip again and put a little bit more here. So I want to make sure it's done right the first time, as you don't want to reopen the cartridge up again and end up doing it again. So that's enough right there. You don't really need a whole lot. Alright, scrub it in. Alright, this is looking pretty good. It's a lot better than it was before. So scrub it up and down just like that. I'll do this side one more time. Alright, and the next step is to dry it off. Let's get everything all wiped off here. You want to make sure it's all wiped off. Do it from the inside out, just like that. Using a paper towel, just wipe it off just like that. Alright, so let's get this all wiped off. And try not to hit these little pins or contacts back here, because that could actually cause some problems. And if you see any fingerprints or anything like that, like right here, I got a little bit of fingerprints on there. You can use a little bit of the rubbing alcohol, mix that to, you know, clean it. Just let it dry out. Don't play it right away. Everything should work fine afterwards. Get this all cleaned off and looking pretty. Alright, so let's see if we got a little comparison right here. This is after, and you see there's no tarnish on it at all. So this stuff does wonders. This stuff actually is probably the best Nintendo or any cartridge that has copper contacts cleaner that I've ever used. This actually works quite well, and highly recommend it. Now the only thing you guys have to do is put this back in here, and this aligns with the plastic molding. You don't have to do anything crazy here. So it goes in only one way. You have to make sure you have the tabs put in first. So there's little tabs there. Push it down afterwards, it should fall right into place. And there it is. The only thing we have to do is screw it back in. And once we get this screwed in, it's guaranteed to work almost like it's brand new. Because all the tarnish, all the grime, all that stuff's gone now. You get this screwed in right here. And we're almost done. And the game that we've been cleaning is Snake, Rattle, and Roll. So, let's see if we can move the camera over towards the TV here. Yeah, that's the TV right there. We'll test it out. See if it actually works. We're going to pop it into the console. Still give it a good blow, just in case there's dust in there. And right there on the first try, it plays. Brand new. And before it didn't work at all. I mean, check that out. Check that title screen. That's cool. Look at the nice, shiny looking title screen. That is awesome. So yeah, that's how you clean an NES cartridge. Just make sure you get yourself, this is the most important ingredient for cleaning NES cartridges right here. And then make sure you're using gloves when you're using that shit, because you don't want to melt your hands off.